Hi everyone to our next video about link building. I thought that I'm gonna start this topic of page SEO, link building, backlinking, bit of social media, maybe also very basic. And I just wanna talk about 5 important principles that I wanna share with you when it comes to link building. From my perspective, link building as the third tier in SEO, apart from technical SEO and on-page SEO / content marketing, is probably the most difficult discipline, so to say, from my perspective. So why is that? Because you can get link building pretty wrong. And especially if you think that, okay, I'm gonna start link building now and I'm gonna, let's say, even buy links and only build very strong links and use very, very hard anchor text, you might damage your website more than you help your rankings to increase. So the first thing I want to say is that every link, if you want to engage in link building at all, should be clickable. So clickable means if you build a link from a website leading to your own project, it should be clicked by a human being with some added value. Or let's say, if a human being is clicking on that link, there should be a good reason why this person should be clicking on it. So ideally, there's some more information, or it's certainly relevant to the topic. For example, it would not make sense to me to build a link from a random forum about, let's say, cosmetics, and then all of a sudden there's a link leading to an accounting firm, or let's say a travel website or stuff like this. So maybe this worked in the past, but nowadays I would really recommend, if you build a link from a forum, then it should be at least a related topic. So let's say if you want to build a link to a travel website, go to a travel forum and maybe look for a specific thread that is really about your destination and so on. Forums nowadays with Facebook groups and stuff are probably out of date, and it's not very common anymore to do link building in forums, but you never know. And so this way, I want to also say, don't just build links for the search robots. Yeah, really have the human being in mind, and I'm pretty sure that Google will also track this. So if a link has a click-through rate, a higher click-through rate, that has an effect. So, and if you follow this rule, you might be thinking about other metrics than just, let's say, citation flow, trust flow, or domain authority and stuff like that. But you might really think about, where are people who might be finding this link useful and who might be interested in finding out more about the link target. So this would be my number one basic principle or rule to follow, so to say. The second one would be use your real life network. For me, oftentimes it was the case that I had made contact or built a relationship in real life, and then it's much easier to ask also for a link in the virtual life, in the digital arena. So just make sure to also try to establish a relationship with, let's say, an influencer or someone who's running a website that is related to your topic. And then, let's say, when you do a networking session, or you visit a conference, or you it happens that you work in the same city, then maybe you can just talk about, exchanging links, and then this way it's much easier than, if you try to send the common spam email which goes to 10,000 people and it lands in the spam folder. Classical scenario. We have found your website, blah, 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 500 words, but you really know that no way this person has visited your website and is really interested in your website. So instead of sending tons of outreach emails, think about your real life network and contacts. And if you do outreach, so that's my third tip for today, really try to give first. So especially when you reach out to an influencer, try to add value somehow. Maybe share something on Facebook or on Twitter, or even link to this person first and add value to the blog articles, while maybe commenting on a blog article and maybe replying to questions that were posted and stuff like this. So try again to establish a relationship, and if there is some sort of common ground, then you can build on that. Yeah, you can start also using LinkedIn or even Twitter to build a little bit of a rapport, a relationship, and then link exchange might be much easier later on. But I would not go and say, please can I get a backlink or stuff like that, because no matter which industry or niche you wanna get a link in, everybody has received those emails about link exchange and stuff like that. So you need to stick out and make sure to give first, a lot sometimes. My printer again. And then you can also ask for something in return later on. If you do link building, that's tip number 4, do it on a constant base. That means, let's say you have a website and it's brand new. So you started maybe a website in December 2020, and then you write a little bit of content, and then you think, oh, I heard about link building, maybe I do this in January or February, and then never again. So this is also a bad idea from my perspective. If you do link building, then try to plan it a little bit and do constant networking, find ways to maybe build the first let's say links that you can get easier from Google My Business, maybe from avenues like LinkedIn, other social media profiles, or you have a directory. Maybe you can also engage in some, let's say, comments below blog posts and write some guest posts, and then have a mix. Usually a mix is good, and dependent on the industry, of course. For example, in finances, in loan industry, it's much tougher to build a backlink profile which is strong. Competition is much more fierce, and this topic certainly needs a totally different link profile. When you look at the competitors, then let's say a website that is writing about a very niche thing, let's say like screws, specific screws for certain machines or stuff like that. Yeah, just as a very bad example, but I think you know what I mean. dependent on the industry, it's oftentimes very, different what kind of links you might need to build in order to rank higher in comparison to the competitors. And of course, tools like Majestic, Ahrefs, and SEMrush could help you detect backlinks and analyze backlink profiles. And I'm certainly going to discuss probably Ahrefs and Majestic in my next videos. Tip number 5, do not use over-optimized link texts, anchor texts. So if you link from other websites, other forums, content, pages, whatever, do not use hard anchor texts anymore. I'm not saying do not ever use them, but be very careful with it, because it's very easy for Google to detect link spam. And as soon as you have a significant deviance from the norm, it will be easily traced back, and then you might go into a filter, or you might go into a sandbox, you might even get a penalty, and this is the last thing you want to do. So make sure to focus on your brand name, focus on the link text, use something like click here, website, more information, or use the whole slug of your subpage, whatever. But do not use, for example, payday loan link, yeah, and then 20 times out of 30 backlinks or stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that this is not useful. There might be exceptions, I have seen that, but when in doubt, don't do this. Yeah. So those were my 5 very basic tips, my basic principles when it comes to link building. I hope this helps you a little bit to get started. And of course, we can in later videos talk about very much more advanced strategies, pro strategies. But for now, this is the very first off-page SEO link building video, and I hope it helps you a little bit to get started. Thanks so much again for watching, and talk again soon. Bye.